we on? Yeah. Good morning and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Audra, for those that don't know me. I look after events here at REIWA. And it's great to see so many agencies and individuals who are joining us today who I haven't noticed previously entered in the last couple of years. And welcome to those who have previously entered. I'd also like to welcome Chief Judge Peter Lawrance and also Jasmyn, who's out there in
That's around the corner.
So 2024 was a record year for WA and AWST nominations, which was super exciting. And even more exciting is that we won 5 awards at NAIF, and we hadn't previously won national awards over the last couple of years. So we really would love to see that momentum continue. Just wanted to let you know that there, this year, as we did last year, there is an esteemed panel of both WA judges and judges from both New South Wales and Victoria. And finally, we're excited to announce the new agency award for 2025, which is Wellbeing, which our President, Suzanne Brown, is very passionate about. So hopefully we see a lot of nominations in that space. I'm just going to hand over to Peter to firstly talk about the key takeaways or key things that you need to focus on when you're doing your nominations, and how to demonstrate excellence and best practice before we invite Jasmyn to have a bit of a conversation with Peter about her experience last year. See you, Peter.
Thanks, Audra. Everybody's standing in the corner there. You can certainly hear me, I know, but...
you want to start with me?
Look, yes,
I think that's better.
It'd be nice if I can sort of just see everybody next door, if they can see me, so... You're not really just specs.
Yeah.
That's better. You can see me now. I can see that there's 40 of you online, and that was 36 a minute ago. So that's wonderful to see so many people who are actually online here now to get perhaps a few little insights into what's important in demonstrating your degrees of excellence. One of the first things that you need to be aware of is to ensure that you or your agency comply with the requirements. It's important to read carefully the category for which you are submitting an entry to ensure that you do comply. We've had in the past a number of situations where people have jumped in and have been in the wrong category, and that's unfortunately caused a whole lot of grief for the team here and the judges similarly, because it's very, very hard to mark you or assess you on a situation where you don't actually comply. So be very, very cognizant of what's necessary in that regard there. I think it's important that you don't rely on support material to demonstrate your excellence. You'll find in a number of categories it will ask you for supporting material. Please don't rely on that as being the essence and the basis of your support. Remembering that the judges are looking for excellence. Now, all of you, without exception, are good at what you do. You wouldn't even be sitting here listening to this and trying to get a few little tips along the way if you weren't already demonstrating degrees of above average. On a mark out of 10, that gives you a 5, right out from the jump. A 6 is good. A 6, a 7 is getting very, very good. An 8 is starting to demonstrate serious degrees of excellence. A 9 is seriously excellent. And a 10 is very, very significantly unachievable unless you have such a degree of excellence that you stand out from the crowd. And we've had a number of those over the years, I can tell you, and one of them sitting there right in the middle of your screen at the top there now. So hi, Jasmyn, to you. Ensure that you answer each specific question as it's asked. Don't try and fluff it out with things that are irrelevant to the question, because I think it's quite important that you impress the judges with your personality, your ability, your excellence that you're demonstrating, and your comparison of excellence in respect of what you do, which is better and more excellent, if you like, than other agencies are demonstrating or other people are demonstrating. And I think that's one of the most significant points that you really need to look at. You'd find in a number of the categories that you are required will have 5 or 6 questions. Please answer each question. Please don't repeat yourself. If you answered and said it in the first question, don't repeat it in the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth, because that immediately diminishes your absolute ability to demonstrate your excellence. In each of the questions, you will have, with one exception only, and that's in the new category, a maximum of 500 words. Now, it's very, very easy to check, as you are all very, very aware. It's up there in the top left-hand corner somewhere in your Word doc. You can check the number of words. And ensure that you don't, because long-winded answers are not going to demonstrate your degree of excellence. Be succinct, be precise, be excellent in what you're presenting. Now, one of the things that we've found over the years is that many of the entrants have not properly proofed their documents. If you're relying on Word, if you're relying on the dictionary that's built into Word, don't. It doesn't get it right. And it certainly doesn't get your grammar right. And the there and the there, the there, they often mistakes that show up and shouldn't, because that means it's not been properly proved. Whilst that's not going to actually diminish your ability to demonstrate your excellence, remembering that your grasp of the English language, your grasp of communication is actually part of your demonstration of excellence. So ensure that you check it, ensure that you proof it, get somebody else to proof it. And I strongly suggest that you don't just answer the questions directly online on the portal. You type them first up into your Word document, check it very, very carefully, and then upload it. And you've got the opportunity to amend it all the way down to the 31st of July when the entries close. Once you've submitted your submission, it is easy to go back and edit it. It's not, the cut-off is not until the last hour. So don't be think that you should have mentioned something and you need to rewrite it and you're having a look at it, that you can't actually go back and make it better. Now, a lot of people use AI these days. Don't fall into that trap. It's dead easy to see whether you've submitted your submission for excellence or whether or not it's been written by AI because you put a couple of hot dot points there and expecting somebody else to fill it out for you. It is your demonstration of your level of excellence that we're talking about. The professional standard of submission is really what we're talking about. And if you seek to employ somebody to actually assist you and write this, copywriters and so on, that's fine. But make sure it's your thoughts. Make sure it's, I can see you nodding carefully at the side there, Linda. You've already employed that, haven't you? Look, it's not against the rules. But remembering it is you who were assessing, not necessarily the person who wrote it, but make sure that the writer gets your personality and demonstrates your level of excellence. And it's about excellence. If you're ordinary, and sometimes we get submissions where people are, that's industry standard. Well, that doesn't make you excellent. It might make you seriously good in your office. It might make you pretty good in your district, but it doesn't necessarily make you excellent. And we're looking for excellence right up here. And as Audrey said already, we've had 5 of last year's awards for excellence in the nationals, in the what do we call it?
Nice.
NAIF, yeah, National Awards for Excellence. We've had, Jasmyn was one of them, and we've had 4 other people who took away the national award. Now, that's a pretty big deal. It's big time. And it's good for your marketing, it's good for your ego, it's good for your office, it's good for you, and it's seriously good for your actually ability out there to dominate the marketplace. So I implore you to look after all of those aspects of it there, and please remember what the judges are looking at. I know I've said it and I'm hounding it and I've pounded it, but we're looking for excellence.
I think also, just to jump in there, Peter, the best way to demonstrate that is with detail and examples. We can't stress that enough. The illustration of your excellence is really what the judges are looking for. It
is. And whilst you all know now that I'm the chief judge, I oversee and look after and ensure that the judges comply. I'm also looking to see that all of you comply. But the important thing is that I will ensure that the judges are consistent across the board. I'll be briefing the judges. I will ensure that they all are on the same level playing field, and you will be judged objectively and subjectively on the basis of your submission. So it's not a matter of who you are and how well you're known or anything else. That's of zero consequence and will not actually, because you might be pretty good out there in the marketplace, automatically put you up into the top league. It's what you submit. And this, you may be looking at things that you've done in the past. Have a look at them and elevate them, because this is what we're looking for. And there have been categories where we've had people that don't demonstrate enough excellence for an award to be actually awarded. And if there's not a degree of excellence there at the top end that we can see, it's very, very easy, and I won't make any excuses for saying there won't be any award in that category. So it's really important. And I know that all of you are here because you have degrees of excellence within your own sphere, your own offices, and with your own peers. So I beg of you, really, please show it, demonstrate it. Let us see, the judges, your personality and your abilities in that respect.
Thank you, Peter. Jasmyn, if you want to unmute yourself. So hello, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you. Obviously, Jasmyn not only won, Realestate 88 not only won the 2024 Residential Sales Team of the Year, they also took away the 2024 Community Service Award, and then at NAIF they won National Residential Sales Team of the Year, so super exciting. So over to you, Peter.
Thank you, Audra. Jasmyn, look, I just want to ask you a few questions. Please. In respect of what actually inspired you, first of all, to stand out there and say, I want an award for excellence? You personally first. You personally first.
Me personally first. Personally, my decision to enter the awards last year was inspired by a collective desire to honour the legacy of, obviously, our late co-founder, Peter Wright. And also celebrate the resilience, the unity and the excellence that my team delivered over what has been one of the hardest years in our agency's history. So that's what really inspired me to actually get in there and tell the story.
And your agency?
Look, from navigating loss to setting record-breaking results and launching impactful community events, initiatives in our team, demonstrated an unwavering dedication from them all. The opportunity to shine a light on the strength of our culture, of innovation, of our marketing and the heart behind our service. I think the team felt that at the time it was time to share our story. Not just about sales. It's not just about sales success, sorry. It's about community leadership. It's about team empowerment. It's about enduring values, and you have to really outline all of those in your submissions when you're entering these.
I hear all of this you're saying, and I'm sure everybody else, excuse me, is hearing what you're saying. I hear the word collaborate, I hear culture, I hear service. Those, I think, are key points when you're actually demonstrating your personal degree of excellence out there in the marketplace. When you're talking about, as Jasmyn has said, the agency as a whole demonstrating and showing out there in the marketplace the degree of excellence that, in Jasmyn's case, Realestate 88 have demonstrated. And I can tell you from looking at the submissions, and I looked at all of them last year, and that's one hell of a lot of submissions. There were some that were here, and there were some that were right up here. And Jasmyn, you and Realestate 88 were right up there. And I think that you know that and understand that.
Do you know, Peter, it's really interesting because in your address just before, you mentioned AI, and I think that a lot of people get stomped down by, if they use AI, it'll sound so much better. I think where you've got to really sit back and when you're looking at these awards is, one, absolutely read the question, read it twice and make sure you answer it and understand it. Because if you read half of the question and go off on a tangent on what you think it is, and then you actually really read the question, you have to put your heart and soul into it. And if you've got a story, it's not just about sales success, it's about how does your agency, I mean, for us residential sales team, you know, it's not just about the sales and the fact they've had a record-breaking year. I mean, hasn't everybody in WA? It's about our community involvement, what we do as a team, how you grow, what happens behind the scenes. I think, Peter, is a really good thing to put in there.
Yep. No, I think that's very, very good takeaway information for the other, how many now? We've got 59, no, there's 49 of you sitting out there listening and talking to us at the moment. What is this? Was this last year your first year, or did you previously put submissions in for awards for excellence?
Peter, we've been doing this since we opened our agency. So we actually won a national award in 2016. We took out medium agency nationally. So this is our second national award. So yes, no, I'm an old hand at these awards.
Well, on that basis, you've obviously demonstrated across the country, across the whole of Australia, your actual level of excellence. And that's a pretty significant achievement. And I think that you personally and agency-wise have got huge pride that you can feel personally that actually enhances your ability to maintain that excellence out in the marketplace. And I think that that's what we're really looking for as judges is how you're able to elevate the professionalism with your excellence, the professionalism of our industry. And I think that really when we go back and look at this in the big picture, it's all about the level of professionalism that we as an industry, as particularly Real Estate Institute of Western Australia, and more specifically yourselves, your professionalism in the marketplace. And if you stop and think about, am I sufficiently professional to stand up there and wave my flag and say, I am excellent, then that's why you should be here. And I believe that's why all of you are here. So I'm looking forward to seeing some seriously excellent submissions. I'm looking forward to having a problem with the judges not being able to differentiate from the top end. Unfortunately, we can only give you one award. The award for excellence will be that person or that agency who demonstrates that they are at the top of the tree. Now, we'll open the floor to any questions. We've got another. What are the other questions?
How it's impacted.
Oh, yes. Of course, that's. I should have answered that one halfway through.
We haven't noticed anything, Peter. What can I say?
How has that impacted your personal abilities out in or contacts out there in the marketplace, your profile in the marketplace, your agency profile in the marketplace? How has it actually affected you? Are you thriving on ego, or are you actually going out there doing it?
Look, at the end of the day, first, that comes in two parts, because internally what it's done for the sales team has given them a reignite recognition. You know, it's given them a boost. It's showed them that they are the best in Australia. You know, there's only 5 of us in my office, and to take that award out nationally was such an honour. I think I paused when they called out our name at the awards. I was a bit shocked. However, we've come home and we have a saying in our office that we don't get too big for our boots, and we keep calm and we carry on, and that's exactly what we've done. However, what it's done for our agency is opened up a whole lot of doors, in the sense of, you know, the recognition that you get from the industry, and especially being an independent agency, the recognition for the team is really important. It's really important for the team, which makes it really important for me. So, which is why I continue to keep entering every year. Last year was a little different for us. We hadn't entered for a little while, and to take that out, just not only statewide, that was an honour, but also to take it out nationally was, yeah, out of this world. It's a great feeling, as long as you can keep calm when you come home, and carry on and show why you are deserving of that award.
Look, I applaud your passion and your enthusiasm, because I think that if you can demonstrate, as you have, Jasmyn, that passion, that enthusiasm, that commitment, you are already excellent. Now we want to see how excellent.
I think the thing is, Peter, and if I could pass on any advice to all of you, is tell your story. Don't just sit back and look at sales figures and how well you've done. How did you get there? You know, what drove you to get there? You know, what exceptional community things did you do? You know, because it's not just about getting out there and getting the highest sales price. It's about, I mean, we all know that we've got a bad name in, I don't think we're as bad as used car salesmen, but we're, you know, at the end of the day, what did we do for our community? How did we show that people want to walk into your office and do business with you? And it's not just about signing a contract or meeting a buyer. It's about the whole story. So don't be scared to tell your story. You know, have a look at how far you've grown and what it took to get to that growth. I think if you're laying all of that down, and it's a great opportunity to sit down and really reflect on your last year. You know,
it's sitting by itself. It's the one closest to the back fence.
Somebody's asking a question. Can you get?
No, yeah, I can't hear it either. Sorry.
You need to get close to your microphone so that we can all hear. They've gone, Jasmyn.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've lost my place anyway. So yeah, put your heart and soul
That was a really good point.
Put your heart and soul into it and tell your story. Just remember that you've had a whole year of not just sales, but you've had personal growth. We're all in an incredible market at the moment, and look, WA deserves it. But at the end of the day, there's a story behind your success. So tell the story. Don't just sit and talk about the success. That would be my advice.
Look, I think that's very, very good advice. You personally have demonstrated your personality and your ability, and
the passion for the industry. You've got to be passionate. You've got to love what you do.
You do. You've got to. And I go back to Real Estate 101, where we're taught what this is all about. First of all, create a relationship to build the trust, and now you've got something from which you can actually. You know, you can interact, you can with the trust, you can talk to people as you are. Your personality comes out. You now are able to not be a used car salesman or a land flogger or whatever we want to call us. We're proper real estate agents. We are professional negotiators. That's what we do for a living. Yeah. So, you know, if you put that into the front of your mind, instead of thinking I'm out there to make a big quid selling real estate, that's not what you do for a living.
Oh, so, it's everything that happens in between the negotiation, Peter. And this is, I think, where when we first started writing the awards, like I was half reading the questions and not answering them correctly. And now I've learned that you've got to take your time. It's not something you can just whiz up in a day. You've got to really sit back and reflect on your past year. And it's a really good, for me, it's a really good process to see how my agency's tracking. It's how you know, the team's going. It's just a real good reflection over the last year. And it was actually quite healing, I think, for myself and my team, when I did do that submission, because I did get them all to read it.
Amazing. We're running out of
We got 5
time.
minutes.
So if anyone has any questions of Peter or Jasmyn, please unmute yourself.
Loud voice and stay close to your microphone.
No?
Nobody's got any questions.
We're too clear,
Sorry.
Peter.
Well, look, what I'm going to wish all of you the very, very best of luck. But luck is not what's going to win you this. Luck is going to help you and enhance your ability to write a seriously good submission. And I'm seriously looking forward to the submissions. Are you putting another one in this year, Jazz?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I won't be putting in one, I'll be putting in a lot.
So there you are. There's the baseline. That's where we've got to get you to. But one of the things that I will say is that even if you don't win an award, even if you aren't given the award for excellence in the category for which you are actually playing, please don't be disheartened. Because as I started off earlier, you're all above average as it is now. You wouldn't even be contemplating this if you weren't. So you're all winners in your own little sphere anyway. I just want to see you in the big sphere. I want to see it at the top end of the tree. I want Jasmyn to be threatened.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
That's a great note. Thanks, Peter. And thank you, Jasmyn, for taking the time to share your experience of winning both A and NAT.
Thank you for having me.
Remember, everyone, examples and detail are key, and telling your story is the way to winning the awards for excellence. And as Peter said, we're looking forward to receiving all your nominations. Within 24 hours, I think we had 4 completed and another 25 people had already started to do their entries. So I think it's going to be a really bumpy year for nominations. And remember, if you have any questions along the way, please contact events at REIWA, and Ellie and I are here to help you. Good luck, and thanks for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye for now.